Hello, everyone. Good morning. This is Afua, co-founder of She Leads Africa, and welcome to our webinar on how to start an online business. Apologies for the delay in starting. We had a bit of technical difficulties, but we're ready to go, and we're excited to have Stephanie Obi with us, our expert. Stephanie is a digital strategist and with marketing expertise. So welcome, Stephanie. How are you this morning?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here.
Hey, we're happy to have you. Okay, so Stephanie, tell us a little bit about who are you and how did you find yourself advising to startups?
Okay, so I have a background in computer science, but I didn't want to do anything science. I wanted to do business, So I started this accessories business. I used to make accessories, Ankara accessories, bead accessories, all sorts of accessories, and I used to sell them. But I discovered that it's one thing to be creative, it's another thing to know how to sell what you're doing, So I started learning how to market my business online, and that's how I learned online marketing. I learned from practicing on my own business. And one day I had an urge to start teaching. I don't know even what happened to me. I just felt like teaching people how to make accessories. And I started having the classes in my house. Later, because I was marketing online, people started calling me from everywhere, from Abakaliki, Yola, Cross River. He says, Stephanie, will you come to Abakaliki? Will you come to Yola? I said, no, I'm not coming to Yola. No way. I'm going to go there. And one day I got inspired and said, let me build an online school so that everybody anywhere can take these classes. So I went online, I did all this research, and I figured out how to build an online school. So the next thing was that will people actually pay for online training? Because I'd not seen it anywhere in Nigeria before. I was just experimenting. And to my amazement, people actually paid. And this was in 2013. Not now, it's a bit more we've come a long way. 2013, it was hard for me to believe it, but people were paying for online classes in Nigeria. And then we started getting customers from everywhere. Now we have customers from over 9 countries. Now some of these ladies started asking me, how do I market these accessories that you taught me how to make? And that's how I started doing online marketing. People started asking me, oh, Stephanie, I also want to have an online business. How do I have an online business? And that's how I became an online business consultant. So I really just followed what people were asking me for. So I'm now an online business consultant. I help personal brands and women entrepreneurs to build profitable businesses online. So that's what I do now. And I just, I don't think I knew where I was going. I just followed what people were asking me for. I just followed direction I was seeing in front of me, one step at a time. So that's what I'm doing now.
That is great. Well, thank you for taking the time to chat with us this morning. We're excited to learn from your expertise.
Sure.
So, first things first, how do you develop interesting content, or how do you even get started with an online business?
An online business, So the first thing I always like to say that, first of all, an online business is first of all a business. So it's a business first, and you just decide that you're going to leverage on technology so that it can be available to a lot of people. See what I'm saying? So it's no matter what you're doing, if you're a writer, if you are a hairdresser, if you are accessories designer, if you love fashion, no matter what you're doing, it's first of all, if you look at it in terms of a business first, you can do it offline or you can do it online. If you become an online business, when you decide to leverage on technology to scale and to reach more people, to market to more people, to deliver your services, without, physical presence, that's when it becomes an online business. Now, depending on, so what's the second question you asked me? That how do we get started? Did you ask me that?
Yes. How do you get started?
So because it's a business, the way to get started is by how businesses start in the first place. That first of all, you have to have an idea. You have to have a business idea, first of all. What problem do you want to solve for people? You know, that's the basics. And because it's online, people and the kind of online businesses that we have seen, we don't assume, you don't realize that those businesses are actually solving problems. So for example, the very popular ones that everybody sees, everybody thinks of is an online store, or online stores like the Kongas and the Jumias, or the what Bella Nigeria has done, or what Linda Ikeji has done. All those are types of online businesses. You know, the problem they solve, Linda and Bella solve entertainment problems for the consumers, and for the advertisers, for companies, they solve, you know, advert problems. So that's the fundamental problem they solve. For the Kongas of this world and the Jumias, they solve, people want to buy something, they don't want to go out there to buy it, and so they can come to their platform and buy what they're doing, buy their services. For the merchants, they also help them to solve the problem of, you know, getting more customers. You see merchants go and put their products on those marketplaces, on those platforms, and people can and they can sell more numbers because they're on those platforms. So first of all, is a problem you solve. So is a problem you solve, and what is the big idea you have? What problem is solved? Very clear on who your target customer is. You're very clear on what the solution that you're offering to them. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that you now pick an online business model. How do you want to position your business? And there are different kinds of online types of online businesses. There's the one-to-one personal service. People don't know this, but there is. If you are a web designer, for example, and want to start an online business, you can just be dealing with people through email. You know how all these people, examples of this is that when people go to India or all these other services, other countries, to go and build web applications, or to go and build web platforms. Those people are running online businesses. If you have a skill, you know, you can deal with your customers one-on-one through the internet, and that's a type of online business. It's popular with software designers, graphic designers, web designers, app builders, things that you don't have to be, they don't have to be in a physical presence for you to work with them. Even my accountants, the accountants I use, like an online accountant, and we have Skype sessions to discuss. I don't have to go to her office for us to do business together. We can just have back-to-back emails and Skype sessions and things like that. So the second kind of online business you can have is a physical product. If you sell bags, or you sell shoes, or you sell biros, you sell books, you sell anything you sell that's physical, you know, that's the kind of online business you can have. So you see some businesses saying, oh, I want to have an e-commerce store, or I want to go and sell my products through certain marketplaces. You're selling a physical product, and you're just using technology to do business, because there's now several opportunities for that. The third thing you can do, kind of business you can have, is an information product. Now, this is if you sell services or you sell knowledge. This is where I fall into. I sell services. I sell advice. I sell my knowledge. It's in my head. You know, so I package it into things like coaching programs, online courses, information books, you know, things like that. That's how I make money online, through my coaching programs and online courses. That's the same way I made money through my accessories business. I was selling my knowledge. I was selling information. I packaged it into online courses, and, you know, I put it up online. So that's a type of online business. Another type is subscription and membership. This is very popular overseas, where you just subscribe for something, and every month they deliver it to you. Now, this cannot, you know, you don't have to ever go to their house or to their office to get what you want. You can just have it delivered to you all the time. So you can decide that you want to run a membership-based business, where every month, every year, or quarterly or monthly, people pay you a fixed amount and you deliver it to them. You can deliver it to them online, you can deliver it to them offline. Depends on what the item really is. The fifth way is by being an affiliate. Affiliate is if you have a large followership and somebody comes to you. Let me use East Africa, for example. You have a large community. Somebody comes to you and says, excuse me, oh, I want to teach your people how to make, your community how to build websites. I want to get websites for them. And you say, for each person that you do business with on my platform, I get a cut. I get a commission. You know, that's a standard way of doing business, because you're giving them access to your community. Another way people make money online is by software services. So this is how this is like the Facebook and the Googles and the apps. You know, all this is a software that people create. You can make money off it. It's a type of online business. And the last type, the most popular type in Nigeria, is advertising. And this is what Bella and Linda, you know, this is what they do. This is their own model. They run adverts. That's how they make money from their businesses. So what you need to start, each model requires different things because they're very different, you know, as you can see. So when you have your idea, you now look for what business model you want to follow. So those are the first two things that I will start with. I know you may have any more questions. I don't want to go deep. So let's see, what questions do you have?
Great. So thank you so much. I think starting with the business model is critical because many people believe that advertising is the only option for you. But as you've shown us, there are like 6 other options that you can have for your business. And it doesn't just have to be one way or the other. Now, I would love to get in a bit more around affiliates because that's not something that we've heard a lot of. But with the e-commerce companies coming up, and they're really investing a lot of money into growing their customer base. Can you talk a little bit about what makes an affiliate type of business, online business, successful?
Okay, so the first thing you have to have is a community. You have to have, you know, the idea behind it is that people come to your community to say, can I pitch my services to your community and I'll get a cut. So that means that you must have built a community who actually listens to you. You know, it's one thing to have an audience. It's another thing to have a community, you know, who listens to you, who you build influence over. When you say they're making their buying decision because of you, you know, they say, you know this kind of thing. When people, you have influence over them, and that takes time to build. Having people who believe, who know you, who like you, who trust you, who believe anything you say, that takes time to build. And that's one of the, it is so big. You know, I wouldn't advise that should be your only business model. I think that it's a secondary business model, because if you it's
Sorry, everyone. I think Stephanie had a bit of challenge with her internet, so we'll just wait for her to come back on.
hello. Hello?
Back. I think it was just a bit of internet challenge. Yes, but we're back. So talk to us again about affiliates and building out your community.
Okay, fine. So the very nature of how affiliates work is that people come to you to say, you have this community, can I pitch my services to them, you know, and get a cut? You can get a cut out of it. So that means that the first thing you need to have is a community, and hence having a community that actually listens to you. You know, you've already built influence over that community, and that takes time. there's a difference between having an audience and having a community. Community, they're a group of people who they know you, they like you, they trust you, they're like your tribe. You know, that takes time to build. I won't advise that affiliates is the only thing that you do, because you may not make the kind of money you want to make. It's not the kind of business model to try out when you're just starting out. It's something you can do when you build this large, you know, this large community. Now, how do you build community? First of all these people here have to be interested in your community. They have to be interested in one particular thing. Afua, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So all the people in your community, they have to have a common interest. They're all going towards a certain goal. And your work as a leader or, you know, community is to help them to move towards their goal by providing them with all the information they need, providing them with experts who can help them, providing them, listening to them when they ask for things. So exactly like what She Leads Africa is doing, they're consciously building a community. Now, it takes time to build. It takes time to build. You just keep doing it. You have to be doing it 24/7. Keep listening to people, you know, interacting with them, making them feel that, hey, I'm one of you, and we can all look for, we can all get to where we're trying to get to together. You see what I'm saying? It takes time. It's not something that you can do if you're not really interested in that thing. You can't just do it because, oh, there's money here, let me just go and do it. You have to actually be passionate about it, because if you're not passionate about it, people can smell it. You know, they can smell it and they leave. They go somewhere else. The community is really about heart, about, you know, genuinely wanting to help people and doing everything within your power to help them. When they now see that, oh, these people really want to help me, when you present an opportunity to them, they would look at it as, oh, if she could recommend this to me, then it's good, because I know her, she really wants to help me. You see what I'm saying? So that's why people who have affiliates, who have communities, are very careful about who they introduce to their community and what they say, because you don't want to break trust. You're always building on trust. You're always building on trust. You don't want to break it. So they're very careful. So that's the thing about affiliates. I want to advise that you start with that. It's something that you do after you have this strong community. And even at that, you have to be very picky with who you bring in front of your community. Yeah.
Thank you. So we do have a question from Glory. She wants to know, what are some of the ways that you advise to build an online community that listens to you and that you build the advice? I mean, that you build a community where you can influence them.
Okay. So the last question I mentioned, the first one is that you really have to have the heart to help them. You have to have the heart to help them. It's not something that you can just do because, you know, you're trying to make money. You have to be passionate about their problems. Their problems become your problems. Now you find that there are certain things that you might not be able to solve, but they're dealing with those issues. You have to go and, it's either you develop yourself to help them, so you go and look for an expert who can help them. But your work is to provide them with solutions that they need. So that's the first thing, a heart to help. The second thing is that you need to have, to be consistent. People should know that certain time, certain day, you'll be here. You know, when you do that, you're building the level of trust. If Stephanie says that she'll be here, she'll be here. If Glory says that she'll be here, she'll be here. You know, and the thing about trust is that if I trust you over a little thing, I have built trust. If you ask me, because I built trust in you, I bring all my problems to you. So let me explain this idea. So, you know, if you're planning a wedding and you have let's say you have a makeup artist that you trust, she makes your face up very well, and you really like, you know, the way she makes you up, you trust her with your face. Now, chances are that you start asking her questions that she can't solve. Things like, oh, you know where I can get it for, you know what band I can use for my wedding? Or do you know what where I can buy shoe from? Or do you know where I can buy a shoe cake from? Or do you know where I can buy, you know? So that's what happens with trust. Once you can just get people to trust you, they will trust you with a lot of things, a lot of things, a lot of other things, you know? So the how you now build trust is by being consistent. Being consistent. When you say you do something, do it. If you can't do it, apologize. Don't sweep it under the carpet, because people are not stupid. They know what's happening. So apologize for that mistake, and you need a certain level of vulnerability. Oh, look, this happened. We're sorry. It's what I learned from this. I'm going to make up for it. You see what I'm saying? You have to be like a human being. Then the second thing is practice the step, get them to practice things like, I call them, in marketing term for them are call to actions. When you say click here, get people to click. Get people to click. If they click here, that is how you're training them to do what you want them to do. You know, so actions, and watch your conversion rates. How are people responding to your call to actions? The more people respond to those call to actions, the more you are influencing them to take an action. It doesn't matter what the action is. Once they start clicking, when you said that they should click, once they start doing anything you said that they should do, you've built trust. You know, they are building trust. So that's one significant thing. The I thought about it and it escaped my mind right now. Next thing I wanted to say, yes. So it's trust is something that you get when you're consistent, when you're authentic, you're original. You're not trying to behave as if you're a superwoman or you're a superman. You're just being, you know, yourself, and people can see your heart. You're consistent. Yes. That's how you build trust. Now there are different levels, there are different platforms that help you that accelerate trust. So things like webinars. Webinars are very helpful because people can ask you questions directly and you can answer them instantly. That shoots up trust. Things like Periscope. On Periscope, people are asking you questions directly and you are answering their questions for them. That shoots up the trust. So anytime you're answering people's questions for them, when there's a two-way interaction, those platforms build trust. So that's why you see Chiliz Africa, they do webinars, because in webinars, we are in one spot together, we can answer your questions. All those things build trust. You see that Chiliz Africa really wants to help my business to grow, you know, and the trust you have in Chiliz Africa grows. So, but all these things, you can't be doing all these things if you don't have the heart to help people. You get tired, in fact. You get tired. So that's how you build trust. That's how you build influence, you know, by being consistent, really, and helping people solve their problems.
Great. That was very, very helpful. Now, I think a lot of people see beauty, fashion, entertainment as the online businesses that are making a lot of money, or so they think, right? But can you let us know, are those, like, unless you're in beauty or fashion, is that the only way to generate online? Other content categories or types that you can use to generate revenue?
Okay, so people think that way, and you know, I don't blame them, because in Nigeria, that's what we've seen, or in not even just in Nigeria, in the international market, it looks as if it is the beauty bloggers or the gossip bloggers or the entertainment bloggers who make a lot of money. But you know, that is just one type of online business, and that is the online business that's based on the advertising business model. There are a lot of other types of online businesses, you know. So let's even use let's talk about if you think about Facebook and Google, they are an online business. They are. They're not making money. So you just pick the business model that suits your idea. So for example, I teach business. My kind of business model, my kind of idea is not the type where I will get, you know, I can easily just get the kind of crowd that is moving towards gossip. Mine it's very targeted audience, people who will appreciate what I have to offer. It's very targeted, and hence I come up with my business model, you know, fits into my type of business. That's what I'm saying. So if you're looking for examples, I'm an example. I teach business online, and the business model I use fits my business. I'm making money. I'm making money using this model, but because it's not very how do I put it, glam. Like it's not very glam. So you might not notice that there are other things that people can do. So whatever idea you have, whatever industry you find yourself, there's a way to make money out of it. It might just not be the way that you are used to, you're comfortable with. Now, a lot of people are already making money through online businesses. There are a lot of them. Look, I've seen all sorts of businesses. I've seen businesses that teach you how to do your eyebrows. I've seen one that teach you how to train your dog, how to deal with relationship issues. You know, in fact, for information products that use that business model, the top three, if you focus on these top three things, you're going to make a lot of money. If you focus on how to help people to make more money, if you focus on how to help people to have better relationships, and how to help people to live healthier lifestyles, those three things, you're going to make a lot of money. And these are not, they're not glam like fashion or makeup or, you know, or entertainment. They are serious things. They are big deals. Like people want to lose weight, people who want to start a business, people who want to grow a business, people who want to find love, people who want to have better relationships. A lot of people are looking for those kind of things, you know, and they're making money with it. So but if once you start looking for it, you'll find it. Once you start looking for what kinds of businesses are out there, you'll see them.
Great, thank you. So we have a question from Ursula. She wanted to know that as a lifestyle blogger that's building a brand, how necessary is it in terms of investing money in ads and PR in order to grow your brand? You mentioned the importance of having a community that you can market to, that you can speak to. So do you recommend doing PR and advertising in order to grow?
Okay, so for that lifestyle blogger, it depends on your business model. What's your business model, first of all? If you're doing, so most lifestyle bloggers do adverts, you know, they do you're trying to make money through adverts, but there are many other ways you can make money. You can make money from selling your knowledge, for example. So there are a number of things that you know. You can make money from selling your knowledge. I just wanted to add that. Now, the reason why you're asking whether it is a great decision to invest in your personal brand is because maybe you're not, this is just me, you know, thinking out loud, is that maybe you're not sure whether this is an investment that can make a return, you know, whether they can get a return on investment. Now, if you have the right products that can help you to make a return on investment, you see that this is a no. You can't even be asking questions about this because it is what will build your business. It is what will build your business. If you sell an information product, one of the reasons why people buy is because they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And who are they knowing, liking, and trusting? They're knowing and liking and trusting you, the personal brand. So you are an investment, you're an asset to your business. It's because of you that people will buy your services. You see what I'm saying? It's because of you that people will buy your information services. They like your lifestyle, they like the way you do things. You may have your community may have told you an issue that they're dealing with, and may have come up with a solution for it, but you have to position yourself as the face of the brand. And hence, for people to know you, like you, and trust you, you have to do all those marketing, you have to do PR. Now, all marketing and PR depends on your budget. If you have a lot of money, you can go to town. If you don't have a lot of money, there are plenty different ways that you can market yourself or push your brand online at very low costs, if not free. That no matter what your budget is, really, there are a number of things that you can do. But the decisions whether you should do it stems from whether you understand how important it is. Personal branding is key. It's the way you market and sell information products specifically. It's the way you market and sell information products. If you're doing if you have a software service, for example, if you're doing an app, you know, the app can be the face of the brand. See what I'm saying? The logo can be the face of the brand because it's just an app, and you know, that can be the face. But if you're selling your lifestyle, if you're selling information, knowledge that you know, then you are the brand. You are the brand, and hence you have to make an investment in your brand. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you, Stephanie. A follow-up on that question is we have Maria wants to know, how should you go about it? So can you recommend some of the different ways that you have creatively done advertising? So of course there's the money part and you can spend on ads, but can you talk about what are some of the other creative things you can do to promote your online business as well?
Okay. So if I'm going to, when I talk about online business, I have to be specific on the business model that you're referring to. So for me, because I'm big on information products and selling my knowledge, that's the kind of online business that I do. The thing about that, about marketing myself, is that I have to show people that I know what I'm saying. See what I'm saying? Because you cannot look at my face and imagine that I know anything. Like when you look at my face, all you just see is my eyes, my nose, my mouth, my my eyebrow, my hair. You don't see the knowledge that I have. It's all in my head. So the way I show you that I have knowledge is by content, what I write, videos I create. Is it by the content that I create? That's how you can know what is happening inside my head. So that's why content marketing is big, because people can't look at your face and know that you're good. People have to read what you've written or listen to you or hear you speak. So that's how you can market. And that's one of the big things in marketing yourself for free. Now there are different, even if you do adverts, and you just put yourself out there, you still have to do some level of content marketing, because there are different kinds of customers. There are people who don't know that they need you. They don't even know that they need you. They don't know that they even have a problem. Some people don't know they have a problem. And so you have to create content that will make them realize that they have a problem. Some people don't know that you are the solution to their problem. So you have to create content that will make them know that you're the solution to their problem. Some people don't know you. So you have to do several things to get them to know you. You have to put yourself out there. You have to pitch yourself. You have to get featured on several platforms. You have to, maybe you have to now advertise sometimes, is to get people to know you. It's a 3-step process I follow. There's awareness, engagement, and sales. First of all, people have to know you, and that's awareness. And the number of things you can do for people to know you. Then for engagement, you have to engage with them, talk to them, write great content, answer their questions. And when you do all that, what you're trying to do is that you're building the trust level. People say, she knows what she's saying. And when they make a buying decision, when they're ready to make a buying decision, they'll buy because they now trust that you are the person who can solve their problem for them. So it's how you go about these two things. Ideas abound. It's just the way to think about it. Let's talk about awareness or attraction. How can I get people to know me? Being featured on She Leads Africa, for example. If you don't know me before, now you know me. So that's one way that I've gotten you to know me. So it's something that you can do. There are tons of platforms that you can get featured on. You're trying to get people who don't know you to know you. Getting featured on writing guest articles, guest posts, creating videos, or even asking your community to invite somebody else. Those are conscious things you're doing to get people to know you. Going on Facebook groups and interacting with people that you meet there. Those are conscious ways you're getting people to know you. Then engagement. Engagement is, I now know you. How do I know that you know what you're saying? So that's you're always pushing out something. This helps you to build breadth and depth. You have to build breadth and depth on a certain topic. You can talk about this thing for a month and you still be talking. So that's the level of of depth you have to build. And all those things don't come overnight. And that's why personal development is key, because you keep on developing yourself, and based on questions people are asking you, you keep on trying to answer their question in a very easy way that it's easy for them to understand and present it to them. So that's how you build engagement. When that trust level, when you've reached trust, the highest level of trust, when you say buy, people will buy. Yeah.
Great. That was wonderful, Stephanie. So I think another question that we've just gotten from Barry, she says, do you think lifestyle bloggers can make as much money as gossip and entertainment bloggers? Apart from selling adverts, what other ideas can bloggers use to make money? What do you think about that, Stephanie?
So I think that maybe she wasn't around when I was talking about different business models. So I'll just repeat it for you again. So if you consider yourself a blogger, blogging is just something that you do. You're first of all a business person, and you're making money through adverts. That's one way of making money. But blogging is something you do. So it's not, the business is not blogging. Like, you know what I'm saying? Think about it this way. The business is not blogging. The business for all those entertainment, for the gossip, for the people who do gossip, their business is not blogging. Their business is advertising. They're competing with the TV stations, the radio stations, the newspapers, magazines, so that is their competition. So that's the business that they are in. So for you is to determine what business, what business model do you want to follow. So because if you do gossip, automatically you're going to get a crowd, and that's why advertising is something that most of them do because it's easier. It's easy for them because of the nature of what you do. But if you're blogging about a niche topic, you're not going to, well, I'm not use absolutes. When you're starting out in the first few years, you might not have that kind of crowd. So you can use a different kind of business model. And the one the one you can start with is a one-on-one service. What are people asking you for? So if you're blogging about hair, for example, you will see that people will start asking you, oh, do you make hair? Can you make my hair for me? You know, that is a one-on-one service. And it really depends on what your community is asking you for. Sometimes, you know, the idea might not even, most interesting ideas, you don't, it's your community that tells you what they want. And you come up with a solution for them, you know. So one-on-one service is a type of business model. You can just start dealing with people one-on-one and dealing with their issues one-on-one, and you can make a lot of money from that because it's one-on-one. Your prices can be premium. You don't need, like, one way to explain it is that if you're going to make let's say if you're going to make 10,000 naira, no, that's an example. Don't think that I'm making 10,000 naira or anybody can make 10,000 naira. You're going to make 10,000 naira. You can use one customer can give you 10,000 naira, or let's use 1 million. You're going to make 1 million naira. One customer can give you 1 million naira, depending on the service that you offer to her. You can get 2 customers who can give you 500,000 naira each, depending on the cost on the services you offer to them. If you have 3 customers, 3 of them can give you 300K each, depending on the service you offer to them. So the great thing about one-on-one service is that you can do premium services, but you're dealing with few customers. And if you think about it, because your community is small, you won't have your customers. There's only very few people who want to do business one-on-one with you at that time, and hence you can start a one-on-one service. But the limitation with that is that as your community grows and number of people who want to work with you grows, is limiting. You can't work with 100 people one-on-one or 500 people one-on-one. You just burn out, you know. And so you now need a different kind of business model. A different type of business model you can come up with is a physical product. You can say, oh, everybody has been asking me about this and this. I'm going to write a book. And when you write a book, you sell 5,000 copies or 10,000 copies. So this model is one to many. It's a product that you've come up with, but a lot of people are buying it now. So that's one way to make money. A different type of business model is an information product. This is what I do. This is what my number one business model, where I package solutions. I create solutions and I package them into 3-month programs, 6-month programs, 1-year programs. People go on a journey with me because, you know, to solve some problems, they need time. They need time. They need time. They need accountability. They need support. They need advice. People get stuck somewhere. You can just jump in and help them solve their problem. So that's where I fall in. And that's something I know that you can definitely do. You can definitely do. But okay, before I move on, next thing is by memberships. When people get something from you every month. This is for this to make sense, because again, you need a large community. Now, the best way to come up with products is just to ask your community what they want. Just ask them what they want. And based on what they want, they'll tell you, and you can come up with a solution for that. So, but, you know, the first thing I want to tell you, you have to be open-minded, because the way you have been thinking about making money is by adverts. Now, leave adverts. I don't even advise adverts. If you go to my website, there are no slots for advertisements. A time will come when I'll be ready for it. But right now, this is the decision that I've made. It's not the right or wrong way. It's just a decision that I made that I don't want to focus on adverts. But a time will come when I'll be ready for it. I will have a team who will write proposals, who will go after corporates, pitch our services to them and all that. So it's something that I decided when I was starting my business, I said not to do, because my community was not at the point where, I could command. When they ask me what are your numbers, you'll be stuttering, So because I don't have, they're looking for numbers. When I get to a point where I have numbers, then I will add advertisement as one of my great business model. Yeah. So, but if you find yourself in a place where you have a lot of people, feel free to do adverts too. But try. It's nice to have 2 or 3 business models that you can work with. It's nice to have that.
Yes, I want to just reiterate something that you said, which I think is very critical, many times when you visit an online business, they're selling to you immediately without any kind of value. So understanding the value chain or the sales pipeline. So letting people know, of course, first is awareness, letting people know that you exist. And then secondly, the engagement piece, communicating to them and selling them in a way that is not so just in your face. You have to build a relationship. And then, of course, thirdly is the sale and having something that really speaks to the needs that they have, which is critical. Great. So we have a question from Avosia. She wants to know, she has knowledge in different areas. Should she have that all on one website, you know, with different sections and categories, or does she need to just pick one and just develop a niche product or service? What do you think?
So I believe in the power of niche. Pick one, and I'll tell you why. So niche, the fact that you pick a niche doesn't mean that you don't know everything, or you don't know a lot of things. You know a lot of things, but you want to become the go-to expert for a particular thing. When people now come to you for that particular thing, you can now talk about the other different things that you can help them to do. You see what I mean? If somebody is trying to lose weight, for example, a lot of people are trying to lose weight, but if somebody positions herself as somebody who helps people to lose 40, when they come, so you see they'll go online, how can I lose 40 kg? You see what I'm saying? Where can I lose 40 kg? You position yourself as the person to come to when you want to lose 40 kg. It helps you to become an authority, which is one of the big things that you need to do in marketing, is that you have to become an authority over a topic. What particular area are you good at? If you don't want to the B and the C, I don't know who to go to A4. They're all the same thing. No. So the way you differentiate yourself is by picking a niche and saying that this is what I'm going to focus on. So I decided to pick a niche of helping people start online businesses. It's a niche. I know a zillion things. Like, I know a lot of things. But for me to to build expertise, for me to be recognized as the person to go to if you have this problem, is that I had to pick a particular topic that I wanted to become known for. It does not mean that I don't know every other thing. If you ask me for certain things, I will tell you, I can advise on that. But I've picked this niche. I spent 10,000 hours developing myself in this area. Any topic you ask me, if you wake me from sleep and say, "Stephanie, Bob, ask me this question," I'll just quickly tell you. So when you niche, it helps you to go deep, to build depth and breadth. And you can answer whatever question gets thrown at you. If you try to do everything, you might look like a jack of all trades. People might say, I'm not sure what to go to have for. So what I advise is that you start with one first, build in that one, build community in that one, and then there are connections at that time. See why you have the audacity to do that thing. So look at all your, so let me give an example. For example, I talk about how people can build online businesses. Now, to build an online business, you have to build a personal brand. Online business. I have another product to talk about personal brand, how to build push your services. Now, they look as if there are different niches. But because I've built some level of authority in personal branding, and I explain that for you to sell. When I copy that on the personal brand and branding product, people don't think I'm confused. They see the connection. That's what I'm saying. If your topic is very far, let's say you want to become an expert in food, and tomorrow you want to become an expert in sports. Sports. At every point in time when you're being asked to introduce yourself today, or let's talk about sports tomorrow. Today, but I just know that in my own experience, it's easier to pick a niche and to grow with that niche. It's easier to pick. It's just to do that. Yeah.
Okay. So we have, thank you, Stephanie. So we have a question about some different areas, some different niches that people want your advice on in terms of whether or not, or some ideas that you might have. So the first of them was around, and what are some ideas around online businesses related to healthcare that you think could be successful?
So first of all, I don't think that anybody has a right to tell you whether it's be successful or not. So I'm very careful who you give power to. So I can tell you if it will be successful. Nobody can tell you if it will be successful. The only way to know if your business will be successful is if you test the market. Actually go out there and see if there are people who have that problem. See whether they're ready to solve, whether they're ready to pay for that solution. So it's by going out there and testing the market. You know, when I was doing my accessories business, there's no way I'd have known that an accessories business would have been successful. There's no way I'd have known because I'd never seen it before. But I still tested the market, and that's how I knew that you could make money. So that's what I suggest to that. You know, I know that you can make money from you have a successful online health business. I have a friend who has a very, very successful online health business. She's in Brazil and she sells people from all over the world, and she does amazing, phenomenal them to just support, you know, that to support the idea, but just to determine whether your business can anybody to tell you whether it can or it can't. You know, so I don't want you to ever feel, I had this idea and I asked this person, I know, especially people who are in authority, you know, because you trust them so much, and then because they haven't built online businesses, it's not their experience, they might tell you that it's not possible. A lot of things are possible. In fact, I think that all things are possible. A lot of things are possible, but you just have to test the market and see if there is actually a demand for it. That's one. Test the market and see if people are actually willing to pay for it. You know, this is the online space is still evolving, and we are all still, you know, figuring things out and learning interesting things, and you can just be a pioneer in that space, you know, so give yourself the permission to try something new, you know. But the third thing is that to figure out whether something actually works or not is you might not be doing something well. So that's why you just probably have to go and invest in yourself, take courses, know how to do things. So because you might think that it won't work, sometimes it's not the idea. Sometimes it's the implementation that's wrong. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's the idea. The idea was not well tested. There was nobody, you couldn't prove that customers will ever pay for this thing, but you were just passionate and you went ahead. So that's one where you might make a mistake. Another one is that you can have a great idea, but your implementation is flawed. And why is your implementation flawed? Because you don't have the knowledge that you need. And hence, to make that idea work, you have to go and learn. You have to learn certain things. And that's why you can't underestimate the power of personal development. Yeah. So, but don't ever allow anybody to tell you that, you know, your dreams are not valid. So that's my answer. That's my political answer to that.
That is great. Okay, so on that point, though, you mentioned you have to test it out. You have to see if people will respond. So Beyonce wants to know, what are some suggestions on how you can test the market for your online business idea?
Yeah.
You know, for you said you were getting inbound requests, but if you're just starting out, how can you tell, or what are some techniques that you can utilize?
So, you know, if you're just starting out, I suggest that you start with an one-on-one service. So don't, you know, just look for, you know, try to get customers, one-on-one customers. And, you know, in the idea phase, you have to get clear on who your customers really are. Who are they? Like, what are their needs? What are their problems? Identify some of them. Identify them in your network. And then you send them an email. Say, hey, my name is this. I help people do this. I have a solution I can do so and so. Is this something that you'll be interested in? So you're sending to people. You're not pitching. You're just introducing yourself and saying, is this something you'll be interested in? Two things can happen. They can either say yes or no. You move to the next person. So you have a hit list, a hit list of people who you are asking, is this something you're interested in? You know, by the time, if you interview 10 people, if you get 5, it depends on what your pass mark is. If your pass mark is 6, if you get 6 out of 10, then this is something. You're hitting something, and this is something that people might be interested in. The way you will know, you just ask people. I've seen people who have spoken to 100 people. You know, every day they look for a certain number of contacts per day, and they pitch to them. Is this something you're interested in? You're not saying anything yet. If it is, then you can now have a full-on conversation. Or what would you like? What are the issues? What would you like to be how would you like it to be resolved? So first of all, once again, you're not sitting down by yourself and coming up with the product. You're going to them, asking them how exactly they would like the solution to come. How they want it to be. So they don't know this, but you're listening to decipher what they're really saying. So for example, in my own case, people tell me, you know, I go for events, I'm really pumped up, you know, I want to before I know it, I've lost morale. Like I don't even know, I'm gone back to square one. So what that person needs is some form of accountability over a period of time, some form of support over a period of time, but they don't know yet. They're just complaining. But when I'm interpreting it, I say, in the solution that I'm going to offer to her, I have accountability, form of follow-up over a period of time. So what I'm saying, some people say, I've tried to do this, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how. And so that guides me on the lessons that I have to build or I have to create for her. So I have to solve her problem. I don't know, you know, I don't know. I'm not behaving as if I know it all and I'm saying this is what you need, because most times people don't even know what they need. So you just tell them what they are, listen to them, have a conversation with them, and from your conversation, you can now create a product. As you work with people, your product will evolve. When I started working with people, for instance, I just went straight to the technical side of running a business until I realized that, you know, before that, we have to even believe that it's possible to make money online, and we have to get you to believe, because if you don't believe it, it won't work for you. So I spent some time working on mindset and breaking limiting beliefs. I had to go and develop myself on how to help people to do this, because I'm not a mindset expert, but I found that people had mindset issues. So I had to go and learn how to deal with their mindsets. Then I now talk about the basics of business. We've not yet gone online yet. We are still talking about the basics of business. How can I help people to find who the target customers are? How can I help them to find what their problems really are? How can I help them to find what their pressing needs are, where they are, how they behave, why they want to pay for my services? These are things that I realized that people did not know how to do, you know. So that's why they were frustrated. So I had to go and I had to come up with those lessons. So you see what I'm saying? I'm co-creating with my community. I'm co-creating with them. At every point in time, I now start seeing that these kind of customers have the similar problems, and so I can create a group program for all of them. So I don't know. Are you with me, Afua?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
So it's really about co-creation. Co-create with them. Ask them, what do you want? How can I help you? You know, when you're starting out in the beginning, you don't trust me. You're going to make several, you know, iterations, because you are learning as you're going along. You're saying that, oh, this person would like this person would like that, and you know, and so trust the process. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. You can make mistakes, apologize, say, oh, I found out this didn't work. Let's try this. Let's try that. Because your heart is really set to help people. You know, they can feel your heart, and they will stick with you. By the time you've worked with a number of people one-on-one, you'll find that people have similar problems. You'll find that at this point in time, this is what I'm going through, and it's what you can do. So that's when you can now build an online course. So an online course is not the first thing you build, because you might not even know what the problems are. You build an online course after you've worked with a number of people. So you now know what the possible problems are. You now know what the issues are. And this helps because you're not just becoming an information, like just gonna read a book and come and create the course. You have worked with people one-on-one. You know, like it's like in better stage. You know what the issues are, and then based on that, you can now create a structured online course or a group coaching program or things like that.
Yes, I think on the FLA side, we also spend a lot of time encouraging people to do customer research because even the startups, it's like no one is talking to customers. It's like go talk to the people you want to serve. If you want them to
Yeah.
give you money, you understand them. And so if anyone ever comes to one of our She Hive boot camps in the city near you, we do a whole workshop on customer research and development. We actually encourage you to get out of the room just because you have an online business. Doesn't mean you should be in front of your laptop all the time. As Stephanie has suggested, go out and talk to people and listen to them. And by listening and observing, they will be the ones that will reveal to you what are the biggest issues and, of course, how you can solve it. So definitely agree with you on that one. So I want to be respectful of your time, Stephanie. So we'll just do about 5 more minutes.
Okay.
We started a bit late with our technical issues, but we're going to answer all the main questions. So from an online business, is it any different in terms of registration or anything like that from a regular company?
So it's the same thing. So, it's the same thing. Like I said in the beginning, that an online business is first of all a business. The only difference is that you don't have to get a physical store to run it. You can just use your laptop, and that is your office. So my business is registered. We pay taxes. We pays me a salary. We pays my assistants a salary. We do everything that proper businesses do. So it's a proper business. And the reason why you want it to be to do all that, because it's a business, and if you don't take yourself seriously, people won't take you seriously. There's so many opportunities that you get because you have an online platform, because you have an online community, because you have an online a great brand. And if you've not laid the basics, you won't have those opportunities. So it's always great to treat yourself like a business. Even when you treat yourself like a business, but protect your intellectual property. It belongs to your company. Number of things that a normal business would do, you do it too. Just imagine that you have a business and you have an office space. Just imagine that, come to work, and all those things. The only difference between an online business and an offline business is that you have some level of flexibility. You can travel anywhere and you can still be doing your work because your business is, with your laptop. But it is still a business. You're still solving a problem. It can grow to be so big. But what makes businesses to grow is the structures that are set in place for them to grow. So if you don't have those kind of structures in the first place, you might not be able to grow. So, just the way in organized staff meeting, you have staff meeting. So staff meeting can be with Skype. So my people who work for me, we rarely see ourselves. We have Skype meetings or email or chats, and we communicate and we do business. Everybody, you just believe that people will do their work, and you don't have to worry about what they are doing. Why did you show up by 8 o'clock? People will do their work. Have trust people, and if you're careful about the kind of stuff you employ or you get, you find that people work irrespective of where they are or where they live. They are committed to your vision and your mission. They will. So the same things that you do in an offline business are the same things you do in an online business. The only difference is that online gives you you can start from your bedroom, literally. You can start anywhere. There are no more limitations. So all the excuses to give yourself, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, it's gone. You can't say I don't have capital, because the only capital you need is your laptop and your internet. That's all. Let's keep it moving. That's all you need, And you can start, if you don't have a lot of money, you can start with the smallest business models ever. You can start with a one-on-one personal service. You can start with information business and information knowledge business models. If you want to have a product online store, you have to be thinking about logistics, you have to be thinking about warehousing, you have to, all those kind of issues. But you don't have to start like that. You can just what do I have right now? What is the easiest thing for me to start? Let me start with that. And as you grow, you can evolve into something else. Tomorrow I can decide to come up with a line of t-shirts, or a line of accessories, or a line of books. I don't know. I just abound, literally. And by that time, my business would have made enough money to be able to fund any kind of funky idea I have at that time. you know, but just depending on where you are, start with what you have and explore the different business models.
And so we have a bit of a personal question for you, Stephanie. So, you know, you have a lot of different products and services that you have going on, and of course you're speaking and writing. How do you keep up with your schedule, and how do you stay organized? Any time management tips you can share, or tools you use that help you be successful and organized?
Oh, Google Calendar. Google Calendar is my best friend. I use a Google Calendar. I have to use that because, you know, things, everything that I want to do, I have to put this in my calendar, or else I might lose track. I might just genuinely forget. You know, it happens, and the easier you get for it to happen, you know. So I use a Google Calendar. Even if I'm going to have one-on-one sessions with people, it has to be my calendar. If I'm going to go somewhere, it has to be my calendar, or else I might just forget. If I'm going to create content for something, it has to be my calendar. Anything that I want to do has to get into my calendar. So how do I come up with these things I want to do? I have a meeting with myself. So there are days where I have to sit down and say, what are the goals for the month? What do I have to do? So that's how I come up with a to-do list, and then I plan it out, and so it gets done. And the reason why it has to be done, because if I don't do it, there's not that time to get done. I just might not sleep if I don't do that thing. So I force myself to do what I have to do, or else I'm in trouble, because the work has to go on, you know. So when you're a solo entrepreneur, you know, I had this conversation with Afua. I think that you're blessed that you have a partner. But when you're a solo entrepreneur, you have to have the meeting. You have to have the meeting with yourself, you know, and actually setting time out to say, hey, let's have a meeting and let's see what we're going to do, you know, and coming up with to-do lists based on what your goals are, putting them in your calendar and implementing them. Putting yourself under that kind of discipline. That's what I do. It's not very complicated. I don't use a lot of tools. That's just what I do, and it works for me. So I like to write a lot. So sometimes if I when I'm you know, somewhere and I'm just my mind can wander, I start coming up with ideas of things I want to do. I write a long list. Now that long list also has to get into my calendar, because it's whatever is my calendar that gets done. So yeah.
Got it. I think the accountability piece that you mentioned is critical. And if it's just you by yourself, it can be hard.
Yes,
it's very easy to just relax or say, I'll do it tomorrow. But the accountability piece is very important if you want to really build the business the successful way you should.
Things that have worked for me is that I now have an informal board. And, you know, we have these meetings where she says, Stephanie, what's happening? Also gives me a lot of hate. So I can't go and tell this woman nonsense. Like, she would just, hello, yeah. What do you mean? so that kind of helps me too. So we all have to. I find it's very powerful, accountability, even if it's with a peer. You know, peer-to-peer accountability is key. Peer to somebody who you respect is key, because it just keeps you on track. That's so powerful. This online business when you're alone with your laptop. Yeah.
Okay, Stephanie. So our last question.
Okay.
The last question is, everyone, they want to hear about the different business models again. So of course the question was, you know, how can you get paid? But I think if you shared, it really depends on the business model. So can you give us a quick recap on some of the different ways that you can get paid via an online business?
Okay. So we must, I know a lot of people are they always get caught up in how will they transfer the money to me? How will they enter my bank account? How will they like, I need to have this sophisticated platform tool on my website. Now people who want to buy your product about their solution. They have a problem and they want it to be solved. So when I started my business, my first business, my accessories business, as simple as asking people to pay into my account, because they had already built trust in me, they will go to the bank and they will send the money directly to my account. Can you imagine? I'm telling you. So there was nothing fancy. I didn't have any, you know, sophisticated, payment portal on my website at the time, but now you can have that if you want, but you can do business without having that. Secondly, I had international customers and do Western Union transfer, and they will do it because that trust again is important. They build the trust. Definitely not going to run away with their money, even if she wants away, they can't find. They don't know how they're going to get her. But the trust, I had built trust to a point where they went to Western Union and transferred money to me. So that's how you actually get paid. Anyway, any method you want people to pay you money through, they will. Now, in terms of the solution that you actually provide, so let's go through the different business models. So the first one is a one-on-one personal service. So let's say you are a website designer, you're a graphic designer, you are a editor. You can have standard products. How much is it to build a website? How much is it to edit your book? How much is it to what are the standard packages? If you want a 5-page website, this is how much it is. If you want an e-commerce website, this is how much it is. If you want so you have standard packages for it, and then you market your business. If people want your services, then they will contact you. So it's really like how offline businesses work. But the only thing is that you use online platforms and online tools to find customers. So you can work with customers irrespective of the location, because you're now doing online marketing. You can come on a Skype call and you can have sessions with them. You have back and forth. You can just do that through Skype. So the second way you can make money is through physical product. A physical product. If you come up with a physical product and you sign, people will buy it online. So what do you need to sell a physical product or one service? Is that you have to build your personal brand. People have to know you, like you, and trust you. Once you can get all that, you'll find that people will buy anything you said they should buy because they've seen that they need it. So the third kind of product is products. So there are all sorts of information products. There are coaching programs. Coaching, you hold somebody by the hand and you take them on a journey. That's what coaching is. So you can plan for it to be 1 month, 6 weeks, 3 months, 6 weeks, 6 months coaching program, 12 months coaching program. Coaching is one of the biggest things that I think, such a powerful tool, and I don't know why we don't have a lot of them in Nigeria. It is so powerful because, and I think that the reason why playing this so far is because they don't have coaches. Because you go to an event and you get inspired. Day 1, day 2, you are demotivated. So a coach helps you, through that journey, offering advice, offering accountability. I mentioned accountability is key. Offering accountability, offering support, and basically you can bounce your ideas off, who you can discuss with. So important. So you can have coaching programs. Online courses is something you build when you found that everybody's asking you for this thing. You don't want to. You can talk about it. You have helped so many people already to do it. You can talk about it without what do you call it? Without thinking, you can do it quickly and help people. You even know the problem that they will encounter. So before I built my accessories online course, I used to do live trainings in my house. And so, because I would say when I'm doing this, I knew the common mistakes, I knew the common, like all the issues that we're going through. So when I was building an online course that did not have a lot of interaction, I was already answering the questions before they could ask the questions. It's when I had built experience with people, first of all, one-on-one first. And so when I now wanted to scale it up, I had the knowledge to the course, because I knew the common problems, the frequently asked issues, the questions, and all those things. So that's how to make money from an information product. It's your knowledge that you've packaged into courses, into coaching programs, into information, into books. You can do books to ebooks and things like that. The next one is a membership. When you're offering things to people every month, you're offering them a particular thing. So one of the things that I can offer, because I sell knowledge, is I can say I'll give you a free course every month I can doing what I'm doing. I can show that to you every month. I can share my strategies with you every month. So membership is every month you're getting something new from the person. It can also be that every month you get a box of makeup. Every month you get a box of supplies that you need, monthly. That can be an online business where you get cards every month, all sorts of things. It really depends on what people are looking for. Once you've created offers or solutions or packages, people will pay. People will pay for those services if they need it. So the other way is affiliates. We talked about affiliates and how affiliates is really based on commission. Somebody comes and sells to your community, you can get commission. So you can just have a fixed price. I charge 20% commission or 30% commission or 5% commission on anything you do in my community. When you have that, when you actually have a product, people will come that. So most software services, they don't know how they're going to make money in the beginning. They just add the sales later. So you've seen how Facebook has made money, how Google has made money, how apps make money. There are lots of creative ways they can make money. Most times they make money from adverts, but it is a bit more creative because they're still trying to find. When you create a service, you're just still engage. If they can, you can now do adverts on those platforms. Then now there's the advertising business model. So the Bellas and the Lindas, they have fixed rates. If you want to pay for a bar, if you want to get a takeover, that's how much you pay. If you want to do all sorts of features on our blog, that's what you want to pay. So every kind of business model, every kind of for every and it depends on which one you pick. It depends on which one you decide to. Yeah. So the one the business model you decide to go with influences the kind of products or services that you want to your customers, and that's determine how you get money into your account, basically.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time this morning to chat with us and share your knowledge.
You're welcome.
Anyone is interested in connecting with you further and signing up for some of your coaching services or your classes, how can they find you?
Site is www.stephanieobi.com. STEPHANIEOBI, StephanieObi.com. On Instagram is StephObi. Twitter is StephanieObi.com. So please say you're from She Leads Africa. I would like to. So it's nice to have you if you can connect. So, but thank you so much. That's awesome. I look forward to seeing great online businesses. I'm done.
Thank you everyone for joining us this morning. If you are interested in learning more about kind of online businesses or just starting up a business, definitely make sure you visit sheleadsafrica.org and stephanieobi.com. If you'd like to sign up for more webinars and Facebook Q&As and Twitter chats, make sure you join our community at sheleadsafrica.org. Thank you everyone and have a great day.